What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 227, presented by Save the Game Media. I'm your host, Kevin, and on today's episode, we're talking all about the Oblivion Remaster being real. Marathon has been revealed. We have a spicy Game Pass, or Xbox Game Pass update, and so much more. If we get to that, gotta introduce my co-host, JamPackSam. How are you, my friend?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. We have traded places. I'm now the one with car issues. So,
Oh no.
Yeah, we got that going on. I have a phone call coming in. Who knows who it is? They hung up on me. But yeah, I have a belt issue. So now I've got to go to the dealership, do the not clearly not as traumatic as yours, but yeah, it's anytime my car's messed up, I'm like, God, like the car's messed up. You know what I mean?
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I haven't heard from the insurance company in a while. I wonder if they ever got getting any money back from that dude that hit me. I don't ever expect to see anything, but I did cross my mind, like, should I just follow up? But I'm the worst with cars, man. As soon as if I'm driving and I hear something, I'm like, I'm gonna have to replace the whole car.
Yeah, I was riding down the highway and I hear, when you hear somebody's like piece of shit car, like you just hear somebody's like, oh God, their serpentine belt's really squealing. And then I stopped and I at the light and I realized, oh, it's me. I'm the car that's squealing. So I had that little realization, but handling it tomorrow, it's all good. But other than that, man, doing really well. How are you?
I'm all right. I want to give a shout out to a friend of the show and patron, Alpaca Tom, who hooked me up with a new graphics card last weekend.
Ooh, what we got?
So I replaced my 1660. He hooked me up with a 2060 Super.
Okay, all right.
So not like, moving up in the world. It was one of those things where I'm like, if you don't want it, like I'll say that's an upgrade for me. Absolutely. Yeah, totally. Like I'll get rid of the 1660. First time turned on my PC after, so I've never installed a graphics card. First of all, turns out super easy, very easy. But I open up my PC, get it all, take it apart, put the new graphics card in, turn it on, and then this thing just goes like a jet engine roaring up. I'm like, did I do something wrong? Is my PC about to explode? And then it just calms down immediately after that. But I'm like, damn, all right, this thing must have a lot more power than I'm used to hearing.
Yeah, I anytime I've upgraded my PC, it's always been like I kind of know enough to be dangerous. Like I'm not going to be able to tell you what the right clock speeds are, or like if the fans are going the right speed or whatever like that. But like I can kind of get stuff to where it needs to go, and so I've thrown in. I think I upgraded from my 1070 Ti to a 3060 Ti before I got the 7080 that I have in here now that I did a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, every time I throw it in, I'm like, all right, what do I need to fix? Like, how's my software looking? Are my BIOS drivers all up to date? So it's always fun to like poke around and figure stuff out.
Yeah, all I did was open the NVIDIA like app or whatever and like download the drivers. I was like, I think that's all I have to do. Hope so. I don't know any. I'm dumb. I don't know any better.
Yeah, no, you're fine. If you went from NVIDIA to NVIDIA, you should be fine. Shouldn't be any problem.
Yeah, that's why I did go from NVIDIA to NVIDIA. It looks a lot nicer in there. I gotta say, like just looking at it, I'm like, ooh, it's a nice graphics card. But I will say, Sean Capri, friend of the show over at Carpool Gaming, he's been building a PC and he's posting pictures of it. His whole thing is like white and it's like the most gorgeous looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, see, I like to go for that kind of thing. Like I respect the people that are going for the look. And I have a Lee & Lee case I had to look down at, and it's got like the RGB, like it's a nice case. I think it was like $70 or whatever, which is like not low end PC stuff. But every time I'm thinking about the RGB or like the cool, LED lights and stuff that are on the CPU coolers and stuff, I just look at it and then I remember this is below my desk. And I only look at it whenever I have to unplug something and plug it back in. So I don't need the fancy thing that makes it look like a spaceship. I'm fine. We are good.
That's how I feel about people that are always buying like special edition controllers. Like,
hey now, don't bring me into this. Don't bring me into
you pre-order that Doom controller?
I have not yet, but it's very tempting. It's very tempting.
No, it is especially like over on the DualSense side where they're like, oh, that Astrobot controller looks really nice. Like they have a lot of good looking ones. Xbox, clearly they love their controllers, and that Doom one does look nice. But I'm always just like, I'm good with my white one and my black one that came in the boxes. and that's all I need.
I feel like controllers are different because I look at them and I like have them in my hand, especially like I think about the Cyberpunk one that was like textured where there was a chunk taken out of it. Like if it's a really special edition controller, but to the point of like having all of the different colors of translucent controllers, like I got the blue one, Xbox sent it to me and I'm like, all right, we're good. I'm fine. I don't need the green and the yellow and all the other ones that'll come out eventually, but variety is nice, I guess.
I wanted that Sonic one. It was furry.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder how that thing's doing. I bet that is, if somebody's using
Disgusting.
it is
disgusting.
pink with palm sweat, guaranteed.
Oh, nasty. That thing's looking grimy, Gary. Yeah, for sure. Just throw it in the wash, all right? If you're listening to this, just pop it in the
what if it's
washing
like
machine.
a skin? Like you can take it off and like throw it in there.
That kind of makes me uncomfortable because that's you're peeling Sonic. Like,
I mean, maybe it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and it's just like a Leatherface situation where it literally is just. This is a unique start to the show. You got to admit, this is a wild one.
Yeah, we went from PC to peeling people's skin off.
I mean, you get there sometimes.
Well, that's how we roll here, Project XTalk. So why don't we do the housekeeping and get into the show proper? We are live every Thursday right here on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia. If you can't catch us live, post every Friday morning on your favorite audio platform of choice. While you're over there, make sure to drop us that 5-star review. It helps us in those algorithms. If you want to support us further and get early audio access to all of our content and exclusive bonus content, like the crossover episode we're going to be doing next weekend, because this weekend's Easter, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia. Choose the tier that's right for you, like our current supporters. So thank you to Todd Oxtra, Alpaca Tom, Rick Davis, Silkenit, Lee Navarro, Dave Harp, David Hotright, Lillian, the Xbox Expansion Pass, Marcus O'Neill, Brendan Myers, aka the Winter Gamer, Nikolai at Night, Fabulous Brianna, and Brianna's mom. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you. Sam, you weren't here last week, my friend. You had a little family thing going on. So I hope you've been playing some games because I would love to hear all about them.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of stuff. It's just been a busy couple of weeks. Like you said, I had family in town. So when family's in town, it's not like I had an event. Like I had people that came in. And so I spent a lot of time just kind of like traveling around town and stuff. So I didn't get a ton of game time in over the past couple of weeks. But I'm still getting very deep into Shadows. We're really getting into like where, everybody says like Yasuke's story gets good. Like now we're getting into that where it's opening up. You see how it connects to other Assassin's Creeds in a deeper way, stuff like that. I'm going through all of the, obviously you never got there and probably never will get there, but like I'm going through the branch of the tree where you're going through all of Yasuke's like mentors, all of the other students that he taught, and you have to like go basically beat all of these other students that are good at like the tempo.
That's where I do all of that. Yeah. No, that's where I got stuck. I couldn't beat them because they were skull enemies, and I rage quit.
Okay, so they weren't skull enemies for me, but for anybody that's finished Assassin's Creed Shadows or that's like getting close to the end or at least doing this tree, the Teppo guy is my mortal enemy, dude. It was like when you were saying you were stuck and you played for like an hour, I was going through this routine because it's one hit and you're done. And that's like how it's set up, where it's not like you get hit and your health bar gets taken down. It's like if you get one, it's got to be perfect every time. So I'm loading this dude full of these little Teppo shots, get him down all the way halfway. But then you've got to restart, go up to the guy, start the interaction again, go through the cutscene to get back into the actual combat. I did it like 15 times. Pain in the ass. But yeah, so I'm winding through all the trees. I'm getting everything done. Going through, kind of checking the boxes. I finished the Shinbaku in the middle, and so we're just going through the Nawe and Yasuke lines now. But I'm taking a break from that for a minute because I've been really grinding it pretty hard, and I'm like, all right, I want to like put it down. And so from that, I want to play a little bit of Metal Eden. Have you heard of Metal Eden?
Yes, and you want to know what? Because we saw it at some showcase a few weeks ago, and I was like, that's a Sam game. Like looking at it, I'm like, it looks pretty cool. That's a Sam game. And then you confirmed, I'm pretty sure that was one you were interested in. Yeah. I saw today it was delayed until the summer, because it was supposed to come out in May, I think.
Good move. Very good move.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I was playing the demo. Love the vibe. It is literally cyberpunk. It's like cyberpunk Doom, basically. I love everything about it. Performance on PC, horrendous. Like it is. Like I have a high-end PC. I have like the best of the best. Not like the best of the best, but like best of the reasonably best. and it's like stuttering and it plays horribly, but you can tell there's a good game up underneath it. So I was going to do a video on it, obviously booted it up to play beforehand, and I was like, ooh. But on Twitter, they said that they are patching the demo. So they are going to like fix the demo. It's good that it got delayed so they can polish it up a little bit more. But let me tell you, the foundation, you can tell like it's going to be a game that I enjoy. It's just got to get there. So I hope they can stick the landing. But I did play through a couple of minutes of that just to try it out before moving on to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That is the next thing on the list, man. Yeah, so last night is when I was like, I'm putting Shadows down for a minute. I'm going to hold off. And so I was going through my like downloaded list of my backlog, and Ninja Gaiden 2 was up. I'm really enjoying it, man. I'm like half an hour in. Like I'm not deeply into it, but I'm popping achievements left and right. Like I'm just enjoying the combat. I'm liking the combo system, the wall running. It's all very satisfying. I'm very much enjoying it.
Hell yeah. It's have you played like any Ninja Gaiden before, or is this your first time?
I dabbled in Black before I could like appreciate the combat, you know, because it's got some age on it. Like you can feel that it's
the camera, especially.
Yeah, the camera is a pain. But like I played like an hour of the one that was backwards compatible that got FPS boost on Series X, and then I kind of put it down. So that's my only Ninja Gaiden experience.
Yeah, this 2 Black I think is much easier than a regular Ninja Gaiden Black, but like that's just because like 2 and 3 in general are easier games. That said, like towards the end of the game, there's a few boss fights where I'm like, I don't know how you're reasonably supposed to beat this without lowering the difficulty. Like I'm clearly, maybe I'm just bad, like skill issue. I'm willing to accept that. But there was one boss in particular. I'm like, I have no chance of ever beating you, bro. So I'm like, I'm glad they included accessibility options, but like the combat, the movement, the combos that you can do, especially when you start unlocking more weapons. Because let me tell you, I know you start with like the dragon sword, right?
Yeah.
That's my least favorite weapon in the game. I never use that sword. I never use that sword, man. Once you get the moon staff, that's what it's all about. Juggling like 10 enemies at once, doing spins. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that, like I said, I'm getting some truck work done tomorrow. So I think I'm going to take the backbone that I've got, the Xbox, the new one that they dropped. So I'm going to take that with me, and I'm going to rock that and try to do like some remote play or some cloud streaming, because I think it's on cloud as well. Because when the dealership service guys like, yeah, we're going to book you for earlier because you're going to be here later. I'm like, oh, it's not great. 5 hours at the dealership. So yeah, I'll be playing more of that. I'll be reporting back, and then Marathon closed alpha coming next week. I have access. So we're going to dive in and give it a shot. Don't know who gave me access, but you know, we're going to get in and give it a shot as the guy who normally plays single player games.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about Marathon and our thoughts about the reveal there. I know you did a solo video over on your channel. I saw about the Marathon. But I got some, you know, I want to hear more expanded thoughts. We got some things to think for sure. Well, why don't I jump into what I've been playing? So I wrapped up South of Midnight. Took me roughly 7.5 hours, which is apparently on the quick side from what I've been seeing. Although Luke said he beat it in about the same, maybe a little quicker. I come down on my overall impressions as it's an okay game. It's completely non-offensive. I like the platforming. I don't mind the combat, especially as you go on and you unlock things like faster cooldown and like more combo abilities, like pulling them towards you, hitting a thing, making an explosion. Like the combat, I think, gets better as you go throughout the game, but still stays pretty simple. The story lost me like maybe 60% of the way through. I don't care anymore. Like I'm over it. Like I feel like we're taking too long to get somewhere. That said, music's still absolutely out of this world. Environments, especially some of those later ones, and you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm like, this place is beautiful. I love navigating the world that they made there. So again, not one of my favorites of the year, but I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. You know, I think we talked a couple of weeks ago. I would rate it like an 8, like if I was given a rating right now, just because like the story kept me going good enough and the gameplay was good enough. Like it is very much so a good game, and I don't think it deserves the stereotypical 7. I think that some of the music and the atmosphere elevated beyond that a little bit, but totally, I get it's not going to be a game that everybody, you know, resonates with, even on that level. Like I'm not giving it 10s and 10s across the board, but But yeah, man, it's a good game. It's all right to have games that are good. I mean, I'm really glad that I was able to play it through Game Pass as well, which is great. Xbox did give me a copy as well, but it's like Game Pass available if you want to dive in and do that. So yeah, I like where it landed.
Soaking it, calling me out in the chat, says funny to hear the story in a 10-hour game was too slow for a JRPG fan. Listen here, all right. I'm about to talk about a JRPG I'm playing. I don't know if you can call it a JRPG. It's JRPG adjacent, and the story in that game is also very slow. Nissa says, Kevin, what you're talking about sounds just like trauma. Maybe. I don't know.
Potentially.
I'm not a therapist. Well, before I get to my JRPG adjacent game, I've been playing a little 33 Immortals.
Okay,
Sam.
tell me about it, because I haven't checked it out, but I mean we know we talked about it a good bit.
Yeah, this is one. So me and the friend group were looking for a new multiplayer game to play, and I was like, why don't we check out 33 Immortals? I've heard no one talk about this game. I don't know if it's doing well. Like, I haven't seen anything for player counts or whatever. So we hop in.
33.
Yeah, 33. Yeah, it's got 30, all 33 players right there chilling in the lobby. So I like a lot about this game. It is early access, and you can tell because there is a distinct lack of content in the game. It follows this pattern where you basically make a lobby. I think 4, maybe 6 people can be in your party. And then what you do is you each choose from one of 4 classes. They have a tank who's a sword wielder, a mage, a bow and arrow person, then a dagger that's kind of a dagger wielder that's kind of like a rogue. And so you each have different attacks. All of the attacks really come down to mash the X button, Y, hold the X button, hold Y. Like, that's kind of limited it. So you go through this big gate, you get sent to a different area where you're now in an enclosed shared space with the other 33 immortals, if you can get that many. Because let me tell you, I never see 33 people in one instance. It's usually in the 20s.
Okay.
So you do a loop of, you fight enemies that are roaming around the map. You gather this material where you then can upgrade your attack, health, whatever you want. And then at a certain point, after you kill enough enemies, you unlock these torture chambers. So then you go into another gate, you do a little mini like dungeon boss room, essentially. Once you finish 3 of those, you unlock what's called Ascension. So then you go do another like Ascension arena boss fight area. And then you all ascend into heaven or hell or something. And however many people actually survive doing all that is how many people you have for what is essentially a raid boss.
Oh, interesting.
And the raid boss is always the same. It's, well, on this difficulty anyway, it's Lucifer. It's always Lucifer. It's always the same fight. He has about 10 health bars, and he takes, if you have a good team, maybe 10 minutes. If you got a bad team, you're going to be there for like 20, 30 minutes and maybe just fail. So that's where the roguelite element comes in, where like each run you'll get different perks and different things that you can pick up to make your guy better. Like you do more damage, you get more cooldown, your co-op ability improves. So there's a lot here that I like, but it does have a distinct lack of content where like after I think we've done like 5 or 6 runs, I'm like, I don't know how much more of this I got in me, because like it's just we're doing the same thing every single time.
Yeah, to be clear, it is a game preview game, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
it's like, so it'll get more stuff on the way. How accessible do you think it is for somebody like myself that's just like, do I have to have a group to play with, or do you think I would enjoy it just teaming up with randoms?
As long as you stay with random, like as long as you stay in a group, like if you go off alone and try to just do stuff like, I'm just going to go fight this pack of monsters by myself, you're going to have a miserable time because you do almost no damage by yourself. You need at least a few other people with you to take down enemies.
And how important is communication whenever you're like, do you have to be like in a Discord, or is it something where it's like there are prompts that pop up and it's like you can kind of feel?
No, everything that needs to be communicated to you will be communicated on screen. So like if there's like most of the attacks have a little area like don't stand there, you're gonna get hurt. The boss has area of effect moves where it's like, okay, run over here. Everybody just kind of knows like, okay, we're moving over here now. We're moving over here now. We got to destroy these crystals. So it is they've done a good job at communicating on screen what you have to do.
Yeah, I might dive in and give it a shot. We'll see. I'm curious how it stacks up, because this is like one of those, I kind of put this in like the Towerborn pile where it's like random games that for some reason got a lot of traction after a showcase, but that probably didn't need that much attention because now there's like a upper echelon of attention on it. But I'm excited to give it a shot. We'll see, but maybe we'll dive in. Who knows?
Yeah, if I hop back in for some more and you're on, I'll
He's like, I'm never playing this game again. Don't.
It is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how much more I got. Like maybe I'll wait until they add more content.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what it is? It's because that's really the problem with the game. And I think like Towerborn, when these games are shown off, we don't know that they're going to be early access. Like when they're in the showcase, there's nothing like, oh, early access title, right? Like I thought Towerborn was going to be a full-fledged title. Then they launched on PC first, early access. 33 Immortals, I thought was going to come out full-fledged title. That's early access. So like, do these games ever even get to 1.0? Do they get to their full-fledged content? I have no idea. So I just really struggle with early access games.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's definitely a you got to have an appetite for getting in there and like beta testing. It's almost like the Metal Eden demo where it's like you go in and it's like you see the vision and then you have to like wait for it to be seen through. So I understand.
Well, two more games. I'll touch briefly on the one. I just started playing Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate, which is a remaster of a 360 game. It's a side scroller beat 'em up based on the Phantom Breaker series, which is a fighting game I actually enjoyed and reviewed a few years ago. Phantom Breaker Omnia. I don't really have much to say here. If you like beat 'em ups, this is a good one. It controls similar to the fighting game. It's got beautiful pixel art style, very Japanese inspired, very Japanese coded. So if that's your thing, pick it up. I think it's like $20 something. So
yeah, $22 right now.
Yeah, it's fun, especially if you have people to play it with.
Good deal. Cool.
Last game I will touch on, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. This is the JRPG adjacent game I mentioned, and I am about 6 hours in. I don't love the game so far.
Welcome to the dark side. Finally, let's go.
I like the game. I'm just struggling to connect with like the story because it's like a Dragon always has silly stuff in it. But this feels like they took a side quest idea in one of the games. So it's like, what if we made this a 20-hour actual game? And I'm like, I don't know if that really works all that well. Like, Majima has amnesia, and then he just ends up on this island. He's like, I'm gonna become a pirate now. And then everyone just acts like being a pirate is a normal thing. There's other pirates off the coast of Hawaii. We're like having ship battles out of Black Flag. It's just silly stuff going on. And then you go back to the same map you were in the other Like a Dragon game, that just Infinite Wealth, the Hawaii one, which I loved. I think that game's phenomenal. But like being back there and running the same streets and like seeing things like, okay, that they clearly just like copy and pasted the whole world, which is fine. I'm cool with a few asset flips here, but like it almost feels a little too, here's a marker on a map, just run to this point, knock this off. Because right now I'm just running around doing bounties and getting rich before I progress the main story so I could be OP. I don't know. I don't know where the story's going. I'm very early. I'm in chapter 2 out of 5, which seems crazy. There's only 5 chapters because I've done absolutely nothing. But
interesting.
But like if chapter 3 is halfway, I guess I'm almost halfway done. So I'm enjoying it enough. I'll keep playing it. It might go on hold because Expedition 33 is coming out next week. And we might have some coverage for that, so stay tuned for next week. Ooh. Just a little hint, wink. But that might go on the back burner for that because it's not one I'm like dying to like. Oh, I gotta finish this right now. So that's what I've been playing. Busy week of gaming.
Oh yeah, a lot more to come. I mean, it feels like I was down in the gym right before this and I was looking, I always watch, the YouTube subscription box of the day whenever I'm on the elliptical. And it was just like trailer after trailer, like Chronos the New Dawn. It wasn't Phasmophobia, but it was something else. There was like trailers, just tons of stuff. So it feels like the summer release season or the summer hype season starting a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah, and maybe eventually we'll get to pre-order a Switch too.
Yeah, have fun with that. Good luck with that. I'm good, thank you.
The real pre-orders are the friends we made along the way.
True.
All right, well, let's jump into the news because we actually have quite a bit to talk about this week. Story number 1, the Oblivion Remaster is real. So the long rumored Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster is real, and it was leaked by the very developers working on it. Appearing on Virtuous's website earlier this week, multiple screenshots showing off the game went up a little early. It appears there will be a standard and deluxe edition of the game, and according to the Xbox AI chatbot, I don't know why people thought to ask that, but they did. It's coming out April 21st, 2025. Whether that is true remains to be seen, but there's also some rumors that they've tweaked the stamina system. The combat is more akin to a Souls-like game from what people have been saying. So I know we don't have a lot to go on. We don't have the official reveal, but how are we feeling? You saw the screenshots, I assume.
I did.
Based on what we got, you excited for an Oblivion remaster?
I am. I think I put it on Blue Sky as well, but I put a meme up on Threads of like me finally getting to my backlog after I finished Assassin's Creed Shadows, and then like right behind me is all of a sudden Oblivion Remake. So I never played Oblivion. I'm gonna crack up if that deluxe edition has horse armor, because my God, what a full circle moment that would be. That'd be crazy, because that's the whole, like, that started it all, right?
I feel like they have to do it just for like self-awareness. It wouldn't make much sense. So I'm a little like, part of me is torn that it's like, do we need a deluxe edition of Oblivion?
I mean, at this point, it's like, why not do one? Because you're going to make more money off of the nostalgia, like thinking through the business perspective, because there's so many people out there that it's like, I mean, if they released a Halo Combat Evolved remake, dude, I'm buying the collector's edition. Like day one, give me whatever that thing is. I want the statue on the shelf behind me. So it's like with the deluxe edition, I'm sure the people are going to be willing to throw down the cash for whatever. So I don't blame them for throwing a little bit of something in there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but it is one of those things, and Silken is calling my very point out in the chat that I'm about to make, is if it is truly coming out next week, as the rumors for weeks have been telling us, although they have been saying every week for the last month, but now 21st, trust me, if that is the actual date, I can't help but feel a little disappointed about that, because like Expedition 33 is right there. You've kind of been hyping that up, like that's kind of got a lot of like a zeitgeist going on about it, a very anticipated game. So to drop Oblivion remaster there, when you could just hold it and have that for like a slower month, there's no need to drop it right now. I feel like we have so many games. Why would Xbox kind of shoot themselves in the foot here?
Yeah, it's very weird. I think that so it's been rumored to be happening for so long, right? Like it was originally reported back in I think it was the FTC leaks from 2023. And I had included, like, that was a Fallout 3 rumor that was in there. I made a video on that today, but going back to the Oblivion thing, it's like you've been holding it for so long, and allegedly it could have been done for months, and it's just been kind of like sitting on the back burner. If you're going to shadow drop it, why not wait until your Xbox showcase? I just don't understand the purpose, unless there's another big shadow drop there that doesn't want to, like, you know, kind of congeal around each other. But yeah, I think that you've got a big Xbox Game Pass drop with Expedition 33. So that's an odd one to like have in the same week, if that is actually what's going on.
And Towerborn, which is a Xbox published game.
Forgot that was even coming out.
Yeah, but it is just from an Xbox marketing standpoint, for like a thing they're like invested in.
Yeah, and I think this is like, I think about this in the context of now Xbox has their fingers in so many pies. How do you talk about all of this? Like we talked about last fall with Call of Duty. Like you have so many things that are going on at one given time. How do you make room on the social calendar for Towerborn and Expedition 33 and Doom the Dark Ages ramping up with these controllers? And you've got potentially Oblivion. And then you probably want to keep talking about the other stuff you've got going on too. So it's like a super difficult spot that they've kind of like cornered themselves into. But again, that can be remedied by just holding on to it for a little while. Kind of odd, I think, just to drop it out of nowhere again, if this is in fact what's going on. But will I be playing this? I mean, this would probably take precedence over Expedition 33 for me, because it's a typical RPG. Expedition 33 isn't a typical RPG. So like for the Western audience like me that enjoys that, I'm going for that. But I also want to play Expedition 33. And then like I have tons of other Ninja Gaiden's right there. And then I need to finish Shadows. And then like Modern Warfare has John Black Ops is like one of the unlockable operators in there now. It's like it's super dumb, but I love it. Like I want to keep playing Call of Duty. So you've got all this stuff. Halo has a whole season. That's like the meme where the dude's dead at the bottom of the pool. Like I want to play that, but I can't. So like there's so much stuff to play. And again, that's a player's perspective. How does Xbox talk about all of this? It's impossible.
Yeah, it does feel very weird to shadow drop something that I think would be perceived by most players as like a big deal.
Oh yeah,
like Elder Scrolls is a big series, and Oblivion is probably the one that I know Morrowind might get some credit, but I think Oblivion is really the one that set it off into like mainstream success. That's usually people's first Elder Scroll game. And Oblivion's great. Like if I never beat Oblivion. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I've played Oblivion, probably restarted it 1,000 times, right? But Skyrim was really the one that I was like, oh, I'm going to put 100, 200, 300 hours into Skyrim and see what happens. But I think the screenshots look really good. I'm excited. I'm a little, it's a little weird because like they're calling it remaster, right? I think is the official name that was leaked. But like some people are reporting it is a remake, so not sure what's going on there, what the terminology is. But everything I've seen looks great. I'm just confused about the timing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, but I'm definitely going to check it out and report back on how it is for sure. But I have a copy of Oblivion that I had a friend in high school who's still my best friend here today. And so he lent me his copy of Oblivion. I never gave it back. And occasionally he'll be like, you still got that copy of Oblivion? And then I'll send him a picture of it where I've just like, it's right on the shelf over here. It's always been on my shelf. I hadn't gotten rid of it yet. So it's still got the $40 GameStop sticker on it from like 2008. So wow. Yeah. So I can finally retire that, play the real deal.
Oh yeah. I don't need this anymore. You can have it back.
Yeah, I'm good now. Thank you.
All right. Well, I assume that will be revealed if it is coming next week in the next few days. Or maybe we'll wake up on the 21st and it'll be there. Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, let's talk about another game that has been revealed, and that's Marathon. So I didn't actually write any notes here, but Bungie revealed Marathon this past Saturday. They had a pretty lengthy showcase about it, which I didn't watch all of it. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I could not deal with it. I watched the gameplay trailer. I watched the breakdown of like what the actual gameplay loop is, but like I don't need all the in-depth developer talk about Marathon, because my initial reaction, and then I'll pass it to you, is this game probably isn't for me. And I think you even told me that. I was like, how does it look? You're like, this is not for you, Kevin.
Yeah, I was like, it looks sick. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, you're gonna hate you can stay away. So this is an extraction shooter, right? Where teams drop into a planet, get some loot, try to get out with it, while other teams try to kill them, take their loot, repeat process. But there's probably more in depth to it, obviously, than that. But that's what an extraction shooter is. So you clearly have spent more time looking at it. How are we feeling about Marathon?
Yeah, so I've been excited about it for a while. Had it on my channel banner for a while till I redesigned that, because I always used to throw like games up there, and then I was like, copyright, probably not the best idea. So I've been hyped about Marathon for a while, and of course that stems from like my love for Halo, original old school stuff, Bungie. I was a big Destiny 1 guy, kind of fell off in Destiny 2, but still have interest.
Same.
Yeah. And so going into Marathon, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see what they've got, because it's something new. Like even coming out of the Marathon reveal, not to get like ahead of myself, I do want to go back and get back into Destiny, because like, I just want that gameplay. You know what I mean? Like I want that gunplay. Mm-hmm. So going into it, I watched the entire showcase. I watched the developer interviews and all of that. And I think that it's cool that they have greenlit this project. That said, we're in a time where the industry, like, can you afford to have this kind of project? And it's not my job to be the bean counter behind the scenes that's like crunching the numbers on this, but I'm concerned about the future of Marathon, because it is trying to crack into a niche, which I think there is a gap for, where there isn't really a good extraction shooter on console. Like you've got Tarkov, but there's not really anything else like that. You've got the Apex
extraction.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're good on that. Ubisoft tried this as well, but it has a unique look. It's got a unique enough gameplay for the console space, and of course, it's on PC as well. I think where it's going to struggle is that if it's made to be a game for everybody, it runs the risk of being a game for no one. And that's kind of the big takeaway that I had in my video of, if you dull it down enough to where it's accessible for somebody like me that doesn't want the hardcore Tarkov experience, it still runs the risk of not being what I want from something that's just kind of pick up and play, run and gun, like the stuff that I enjoy. But then if you try to tap into the hardcore extraction shooter fans, it's too vanilla for them, and they don't have anything that they can really grapple onto and make their own, like they can with a Tarkov or something like that they want that kind of experience. Like with Apex Legends, it's largely based on the time that I spent with it back in the day when it launched, a super forgiving game. Like if you're running with a squad of trios, you're just running and gunning, you rev real fast if you get down. It's very action heavy. With Marathon, it looks like it's kind of got that kind of DNA to it, but also like there's extraction and looting, and it's like, I think that they've got a potential opportunity, but there are so many games that are coming out right now, and like the people that are playing Apex are ingrained in Apex. The people that are playing Warzone are ingrained in Warzone. Can it carve out a niche where it gives people a reason to come over and stay there? Plus, and we'll talk about it, price tag. Like it's not a free game. And I think that's a calculated risk that they're taking here, but it's a very interesting choice to make.
Yeah, so we'll definitely touch on the price tag, because I think that was one of the big talking points coming out of the showcase. Everyone calling it Concord 2.0, which I first of all, disrespectful. Concord was good.
Did you see the devs talked about it on Reddit? A dev came out and he was like, "Don't compare it to us. It's not like that."
Oh no, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah,
wow.
There was a dev that was on the team at Firebreak. Was it Firebreak? No, it's
Firewalk.
Yeah, Firewalk. Because Firebreak's the FBC Firebreak, the new game. Yeah. Yeah, they came out and they were like, I used to be on the Firewalk team. Just because we failed doesn't mean they will. Like that was the kind of vibe. So
okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yes, because I do think like what I saw, while it's not a game for me, I'm like, this looks good. And if there's one thing Bungie knows how to do, is make a good feeling FPS. Like there should be no doubt that the game is going to feel good to play, that it's going to have good shooting mechanics. The movement is going to feel good. I know some people are mixed on the art style. I think I like it personally. I think it looks pretty good. My whole thing is just like the gameplay loop. You got to have something to keep players coming back. Is that going to feel rewarding enough? What does the battle pass look like? What does the monetization look like? Not even, if it's a $40 game or a $30 game, however it is, we know it's not $70 and we know it's not free to play. Anything else is open season essentially. But like, what does the monetization look like for this game? Because you're going to have people upset that, oh, I have to pay to get into the game, and then you're asking me for more money when there's free to play games that I can just download and then have battle passes.
Yeah. And I think that's a super challenging thing because like you can either have a very large player base and a fraction of them spend money on stuff like Fortnite, millions of people playing. And even if you have a couple 100,000 or whatever that buy the stuff, you can subsidize the game because those people are kind of like the equivalent of whales. They're offsetting everybody else that's buying stuff. With something like Marathon, I mean, it's like, Destiny 3 comes out. It's free to play, hypothetically. Let's just say that. You've got people that are able to buy in because it's Destiny, right? Like people know what they're going to get. They'll buy the battle passes or the whatevers that come along, the cosmetics and stuff like that, which are pricey in Destiny, like $20 per character. Like if you're wanting some of the Mass Effect stuff or stuff like that. But for something like Marathon, you'll have the people that are coming over from Destiny that are willing to throw the cash down, but it's a non-proven concept. And I forget who I was listening to or watching, but the fact that there's not a roadmap yet, hypothetically, again, we're at the first reveal, so it's not like they have to show us everything, and we didn't even get the price. But I need them to show me why I'm buying into this so that I can be confident in the fact that, okay, if I'm spending $100 on 3 battle passes and some cosmetics, it's not going to be shut down in a year and a half and the servers go offline. Or like Concord, where it was like 2 weeks, which I don't think it's going to be a Concord situation.
You can get your money back.
I mean, true. But like, I don't think it's going to be a Concord situation. I think the question is it going to be making enough money to justify Bungie spending all of their resources on it, or however many resources they need to continue making new runners, to continue making new cosmetics and maps, compared to whatever resources they're allocating towards Destiny 3. What's the size split of these teams? Because it looked like a pretty significant team. I mean, it seemed like everybody that was in the audience during the presentation had touched the game at some point, like they had helped with the development of it. it. I mean, you're talking like 50, 75, 100 people. It was a pretty big audience. So, yeah, all the questions that I've got right there, you know, and again, things that like players today probably aren't worried about outside of the space that's listening to this podcast and having these conversations. But we know where Bungie's been at, right? Like they've been struggling to get income rolling. Like Sony's kind of given them a deadline allegedly of like the final shape needed to hit. It kind of hits, and now they've got this other thing coming, but it's like, what's the runway? How much time do you actually have to land the next big thing, or are we good? I don't know. But I'll be interested to see how Marathon moves the needle towards whatever goal they've set internally.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the expectations are for Marathon, because I find it hard to believe that they would be like, oh, we're looking for a Helldivers 2 situation again. Because if they're looking for that, I don't think they're getting that level of success. But like right now, this feels very much to me like it could go either way. This game could die very quickly, or it could settle into a, hey, it's got a solid player base. But I really do struggle to see this game like blowing up into something huge.
Oh, interesting. It looks like in the chat around 300 people are working on Marathon.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. Yeah, and I kind of have the same question. And what I hope doesn't happen is that it's a good game that's not successful enough, because that's like the worst spot to be in, where you know it's something good, but it just can't win the audience over. And I mean, like, I'm not saying it's going to be the same thing, but X Defiant is the game that comes to mind, where like, if you go and you look at the comments that were on X Defiant's YouTube channel, there were trolls because it's Ubisoft and you got to pay the Ubisoft tax for the sentiment in the public. But there were tons of supportive people in the comments that were like, keep this game alive. We love this game. Like, there were always players in the lobbies. People really enjoyed. They had like quadruple XP weekends. It was wild what they were doing. People really loved it, but it wasn't making enough money for Ubisoft to continue supporting it. And so that's the worst spot to be in, is like, if Marathon comes out, they've been working on this since, I think Lupo said he'd been testing it since 2023. So probably like in development since 21, 22, something like that. I don't know. But it's been in development for years. Then it comes out and it's just like not making any money. And then they have a good idea, but they can't justify continuing. That's the worst. So I hope that's not the situation.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I'm expecting $40. I think that sounds about right. Oh, I didn't even see the release date. It comes out September 23rd.
23rd, yeah, probably the same day as GTA 6.
Comes out the same day as Borderlands 4. I know that for a fact.
That's a rough one, because like I feel like those are playing in the same space a little bit. Like, you got a little
shooter.
Yeah, you got a little crossover with the first person shooter, also multiplayer elements as well, like single player but squad. I think that's going to be a rough, interesting choice there. But to be fair, either of these or any of these could get delayed. Who really knows?
That's true, especially if GTA, you know.
Yeah, because if you launch Marathon on the same day as GTA, because I say that because I think September 27th is when GTA 5 came out way back in the day. And so I'm like, if you're lining it up the same way, that's a bold move to say September, the middle of the season, probably around when GTA is coming out. I don't know. That's a bold move.
Well, listen, September, if GTA drops in September, you won't see me playing it. I'll be playing my Trails in the Sky remake, all right?
I mean, I'll probably get GTA 6. I feel like you have to at a certain point. But Ghostly Guys in the chat, getting Borderlands 4 not even a hard choice. That comes back to the monetization conversation of like, if you're somebody who really likes FPS games and you've got 70, 80 bucks to spend, are you going for the $40 Marathon, or are you splashing the cash on a game that's probably going to give you more options on how you play it with Borderlands 4? Like, you're going to get probably more content.
Known quantity.
Like, right.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah. So that's another game that's on my backlog is Borderlands 3, because it's in Game Pass now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm excited about it. You know, they sent over the care package and all that stuff, and I have access to the alpha. So big thanks to Bungie for that. So we'll continue to cover it and see what goes on. But I'm optimistic but cautious.
I fall in the same boat. So we'll see what happens. If it, depending on the price, we'll see if I jump into it. But I don't know. Let's keep rolling though. Story number 3. Xbox Game Pass update is quite beefy to end the month. So available now, GTA 5 has returned for what feels like the 5th time. Neon White is also available for console Game Pass at the standard tier. You got SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game for cloud, console, and PC at all tiers. Crime Scene Cleaner for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series consoles at the Ultimate and PC tier. You have Tempopo for cloud, console, and PC at the Ultimate and PC tier. April 24th, you get Claire Obscure Expedition 33 for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series at the Ultimate PC tier. April 29th, you get Towerborn for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series consoles at the Ultimate PC tier. I wrote April 40th. That's not a date. April 30th. You get Far Cry 4 for cloud, console, PC at all tiers. May 1st, you get Anno 1800 for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series at all tiers. You also get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for cloud, console, and PC at the Ultimate and PC tiers. And May 6th, you get Dredge for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series at all tiers. Anything piquing your interest here, Sam?
It's so weird because like you start off, okay, number one, anybody that's got Game Pass, play Neon White because Neon White's a banger.
Yes.
Neon White's a banger. I love Neon White. You start off and you're like, okay, we're really going downhill. We're getting Temu level games here. Like, like the first four, I'm like Neon White banger. SpongeBob, okay, it's for the kids.
No, I'm gonna stop. That's Patrick Star game is a shovelware garbage. Okay. Do not play that game. It's from Outright Games, and they make some of the worst licensed crap. All right.
Yeah. So it's like I get that's being thrown in there for like the Nickelodeon money or whatever, but they're throwing it in there, get kids subscribing. Okay, whatever. Crime Scene Cleaner. That feels like one of those PC sandbox games that I just like. Yeah. Like my fiance was looking for a game today, and she came across and she's like, "That's funny," and I get the comedy, but like Game Pass. Tim Popo, child game. No, thank you. Like, it's not, like, absolutely not. However, last half of the list, Redemption Arc. Okay, like, we were going downhill. It's like whenever you binge fast food for 3 days and you're like, oh, this is it. And then you, like, hit the gym again. Like, all right, we're back on the saddle. So, like, Expedition 33, Towerborn, Far Cry 4, underrated game, very good. Don't know anything about Anno, but I've heard good things. COD's good. I'm excited for Dredge, personally, because I've never played Dredge. But it's one of those that I put in there with, like, the big indies of the past 5 years. So I'm totally going to play Dredge. I've heard really good things. So that's kind of the standout for me beyond Expedition 33. And Modern Warfare 2 is pretty good. No complaints.
Yeah. So obviously I agree. Play Neon White. I have no interest in most of these except Towerborn. I'm interested to check out eventually. It's not on the top of my, like, again, awful time to drop this. I've been waiting for this game for months. Like, I think it came to PC in September last year, and I was like, oh, it's got to come to Xbox pretty soon then, right? And then it's coming the end of April, so basically May. It's ridiculous how long it took to get to consoles, and you're dropping in a period where there's so much to play.
Yeah.
Like Doom is a few weeks away. You got Expedition 33, which is at the top of my list. That's like my most anticipated game this year. I can't wait. I'm going to be there day one playing that. I got a long weekend next weekend. So I'm just gonna Monday, I'm be like, shut my door, no life that. All right. So I'm super excited for that. I think Far Cry 4 is a good get. Xbox has been getting a few Ubisoft games lately in the Game Pass service, I've noticed. But I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, obviously a big one, and I think Xbox knows it because they put it at the Ultimate and PC tiers. They're not giving it to the standard peasants. All right. If you want COD, even the old ones, you're paying top dollar.
Yeah, I'm still surprised we haven't gotten like a drop. You know what I mean? Of just like which to be fair, I think it would be good if they were like the Black Ops series, you know, where it's like you get Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's like, all right, there's your Black Ops games, and then you hit the old Modern Warfare games. There were leaks about allegedly Modern Warfare 2, 3 remasters coming out as well, and there was GameStop logos associated with that, or Game Pass logos associated with that. So like maybe they're holding out for that. I don't know, but yeah, more Call of Duty getting integrated, the better. I do think it's weird because it's like, not to ramble, but you don't want to like split the player base from Black Ops 4 to get people going back to Modern Warfare 2, to get people on Modern Warfare 3, because I think a lot of people are still playing just Black Ops. I think I said 4. I meant 6.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah. They're all the same. Keep playing COD. You do whatever you want.
You just shoot people, all right?
It's fine.
We're all waiting for Crash Team Rumble. Right,
I mean, I forgot about that game. Just tap the sign. You're like, yeah, Crash Team Rumble.
Right here, man. I see it every day.
That is wild. They haven't put that on Game Pass. I forgot that was a thing. I forgot I sent you that. Why did I have that? I got it from GameStop, I think.
I listen. One of those that game will always be like, oh man, that was such a good 20 hours, and then that's a game I'm never gonna. If that wasn't for this poster, I would never think about Crash Team Rumble.
Yeah, I think you're right there with everybody else.
Yeah, everyone, genuinely everyone else. But it is very weird if we're talking about Activision. Like, where are they? What's taking so long?
I have no idea. The chat's got a good point here. We've got, keeping all the engagement on the new COD probably makes the most sense. But at one point or another, you've got to be able to drop these games because, it's still expensive to get these older Call of Duty games if you're not at a show. I mean, picking up a Black Ops combo pack's $25-$30. Like, it'd be nice to be able to throw that into a Game Pass sub because the old ones, you can get them cheap. But if you go to GameStop, they're not like the $5, $6 games you think they are.
Yeah, I mean, I just know we've had all these like store, like the Xbox backend for the store of like old Activision titles popping up, and then
Spider-Man's,
the Transformers games. I know people are waiting for Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like those ones. That's just like, oh, something must be happening, and I swear we've been saying that for a year now, and nothing has happened.
Yep, pretty wild. Waiting for it.
So. Pretty good for Game Pass. Finally some food.
All right. Yeah, good stuff.
All right. From Xbox Game Pass updates to just Xbox updates, I did feel this was notable. I wanted to call this out. So Xbox is rolling out some pretty substantial updates to both console and mobile this month. Players will soon be able to buy games, join Game Pass, and redeem perks via the Xbox mobile app. For consoles, you can now stream games you own directly from your console. Xbox is also creating a new web page that allows you to remote play from your console on any browser, not just the Xbox app. So for me, buying games through the app is something I've been asking for ages. This is a feature I use all the time for PlayStation, where it's like I'm watching a showcase. Oh, let's pull that up, wish list or pre-order or whatever it is. Xbox is like they've had the install the console feature, which is great because you can install any game, but I want the ability to buy it. I want the ability to see the price. So, just have that information ready. So great update there. Directly streaming your own games to your console and this new remote play that just furthers their messaging around, hey, we want all your games accessible at any time. The fact that I can be nowhere near my console and just pull up a web browser now, and I don't have to worry about like having the Xbox app and I can just remote play. That's fantastic.
Yeah, all this stuff's really good. It always cracks me up because the big thing with the iOS store or I guess the App Store is that you can't if you have to buy a game through the App Store, it's going to charge you more. Like how Twitch subs are more on if you buy it through the Twitch app on mobile, or the same thing with YouTube memberships or anything like that. So a couple of years ago, they cracked the code of like, oh, we can just like link out to a browser page, and then it's just going through the browser. Like if you can buy ebooks on Amazon on your iPod or your iPhone, but you just don't have to go through the app. So like it seems like they're just expanding that more. I saw where there's going to be Samsung TV functionality for this remote play browser as well. So that's going to be cool to be able to throw it up on any kind of Samsung smart TV and just immediately connect via Bluetooth controller and play your games. I'm curious how many people are going to use this kind of stuff though. And beyond that, I'm curious why. So now we've got xbox.com/play. And now we've got xbox.com/remote play. Can we not just add a button on play?
In the play, yeah.
Well, like, why are we doing these two URL things? I think that's super weird. But I'm just so curious how many people are using this. I can't imagine it's much to keep it up and running either. So it's not like a big sunk cost. You're probably going to make money on it either way. But it's just odd to have I think when you have so many different points of entry, it almost becomes like, how many people are really going this specific way to get to their content, but I'd rather have it than not, I suppose.
Yeah, just more options is really what Xbox is doing these days. They're just let's make 9,000 web pages.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, our last story is a Phil Spencer interview with Variety. So in a new interview, head of Microsoft Gaming Phil Spencer reiterated Xbox will be supporting the Nintendo Switch 2, stating he was, quote, a big believer in what Nintendo means to the industry. We've been supporting Switch 1. I want to support Switch 2. Nintendo has been a great partner. We think it is a unique way for us to reach players who aren't PC players, who aren't Xbox players. It lets us continue to grow our community of people that care about the franchise we have, and that's really important for us to make sure we continue to invest in our games. In the same interview, Spencer stated that while Game Pass is an important part of the business, it's not for everyone, stating, I've always thought about Game Pass as just another option for somebody who wants to play it. It's not for everybody. If you play 1 or 2 games a year, Game Pass probably my ad blocker just popped up in the middle of this. Okay. Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you. You should just buy those 2 games. Spencer states he wants players to have the choice of how they consume games. We're making those games available to buy in more places. And I look at the overall hours of players who are playing on Xbox, playing our games, and that's a number that continues to grow fairly substantially. And that's really the metric I think about for success. I'm excited about the Switch 2. The Game Pass one I included. I saw that making the rounds. I personally don't know how big of a news story that actually, like, oh wow, the guy that runs the company thinks that there's different ways you can buy games or play through Game Pass. He doesn't only want one option to make him money. Mind blown there. So I'm just more interested in the Switch 2, and I think Switch is obviously on everyone's lips right now. I'm surprised we didn't see Xbox at that Switch 2 showcase during that partner roundup. Like we saw Activision with Tony Hawk, but everyone really expected like Halo to drop there. Other big names, like that was a rumor that Halo Master Chief Collection
think like, man, people are dumb, dude. Like, why would you think that?
So stupid.
Why would people think that, man? That's crazy. No.
So we did have a question about that. It says Sam Heaney wrote in, with Phil Spencer reading his desire to support the Switch 2 heavily, what games, new or old, at June's showcase do you think could have a Switch logo attached?
Ooh, great question. I mean, at the showcase, so during the trial, one of the agreements was you're bringing COD to Switch. Like that was one of the things. So Call of Duty, presumably this year, is going to be launching on Switch 2. I'm curious what that looks like. I know that I got into it with some people on threads around, like I saw the video of the mouse mode where people were trying it with Metroid at one of the big events where they could show off the Switch. And people were complaining about like mouse acceleration and delay on screen. And I'm like, brother, this is not SteelSeries. Nintendo does not care about the mouse acceleration efficacy on Switch 2 because they're not going to be playing competitive Warzone. But it brings up a point of like, there's crossplay. These Switch kids are going to get stomped on, which, you know, everything's right in the world. But nonetheless, it's going to be coming to Switch too. So Call of Duty for sure. I think the when/if like a Starfield comes to PlayStation, I feel like that could be a really good opportunity for Switch too. Just because I know that game's playable on handhelds to some degree. A lot of the older stuff I would imagine would come over. Sea of Thieves, I think, has got to be like a Switch 2 thing. That feels like a very, very easy win. So stuff like that. I think Grounded, which I believe is already on Switch.
It's already on Switch.
Maybe like an upgrade, something like that. Like a new version of it, stuff like that, I think would be a really good fit.
Yeah, I think if it's on other platforms right now, I think we can expect it to go to the Switch. Like Forza Horizon 5, wouldn't be surprised to see that show up. I think Call of Duty, obviously, fantastic shout. We know Tony Hawk's going. I'm trying to think like what Xbox games could it run Starfield is my question. Like, because we know it's way more powerful than a Switch.
Right.
I just don't think like it's not as powerful as a PS5 or a Series X though. So that's where I'm always like people throwing out these could it run, and if it can run, how compromised is it? Because I believe Cyberpunk is like 40 FPS in performance mode
right
on the Switch too. So it's not like, oh, every game can run 60 FPS and do the same PS5, Xbox Series performance that we're on. But if they can scale it down like they did something a la the Witcher 3 for the last Switch, which apparently people loved playing The Witcher over there, even though it was a very compromised version. I can see a plethora of games. Like Hi-Fi Rush, I think should be immediately on the list of games we go over there. I don't know how that works with
I don't know how
them
that works either.
selling to Crafton, but there are tons of options.
Yeah, I mean, I was just Googling. Apparently, I couldn't see it on the Steam page itself, but the Steam Deck Reddit says that it runs fairly well. Starfield runs fairly well on Steam Deck. And I think that like the DLSS stuff and the upscaling, it's got the same exact outputs as far as like resolution and frame rate goes as the Series S. So like if the Series S can run a lot of that stuff, that's kind of where my mind's at with not only the Switch 2, but these other handhelds that are coming out. I mean, PlayStation, sure, they've been pushing it with the PlayStation 5 Pro, and then they've got the base model PS5, but Xbox has kind of been like they've been in the optimization trenches for the past couple of years, running into issues like figuring out how to navigate stuff like Baldur's Gate 3 and all these other things that have come and gone that have been problems for them. Black Myth Wukong allegedly potentially paid off, who knows? But nonetheless, like they've been navigating these porting issues. So they could be poised to really take advantage of stuff where I don't know how it compares to an Xbox Series S, but I pointed out, I sold it this week. We can talk about that later. But that's where it used to be. I look at the spot on the floor. If it's comparable to that, then they're really going to be kind of primed to take advantage of just porting that stuff over.
Ghostly Guides in the chat. Indiana Jones, ?
Ooh, nah, doubt that, because that's barely running on high-end PCs, right? Like that's, I mean, it does run on Series S, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what it runs on. Like, I wouldn't be upset 900p 30 FPS.
I mean, I think if you, in my opinion, with the upscaling stuff, like if you're rocking with a screen the size of the one on the Switch 2, like you can get even lower than that. Like you can go down to like 720.
We can go lower, 480.
Like you can get real low and upscale if the DLSS is good enough. So we'll see.
Switch. Nintendo goes, why do you think this Piranha Plant camera is 480p? Because that's what our games
anybody anyway. Who cares?
That's what the games are gonna be too. Listen, Indiana Jones is an option if they can make it run. Like I don't know what I'm not a game developer, right? So like I don't know what the Switch 2 dev kits look like. I don't actually know how powerful this thing is. Everything in the showcase, I'm like, that game looks awesome. I can't wait to play Donkey Kong. Mario Kart looks sweet, but like those are Nintendo games, right? So third party, completely different situation. And apparently, like not every third party developer got Switch 2 dev kits. I know I saw a list that included like Platonic and other like not big third parties, but like indie AA level that were like, we don't even have Switch 2 development kits.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't shock me. I'm sure that that's kind of reserved for the. I don't know why their name came to mind, but it's like you've got your Sonys and your Microsofts, but then like your Annapurnas, where it's like you got something that's kind of like on that level of like your Life is Strange level stuff, and then it's like the indies. Like I feel like Ukulele People probably a little couple of rungs lower, just in my opinion, but that's just me.
Platonic still maintains that it's coming to Switch 2 because like when they've for Yuka Replayly, their remake or whatever, it just says Nintendo. Like they didn't say Nintendo Switch, so everyone's like, oh, that's a Switch 2 game, but they won't say Switch 2 still. Like I don't think they don't have dev kits.
Is there another Switch that they know about that we don't?
The Switch 3.
Switched, but the E is the 3. Yeah, I like that.
Yo, no, to be fair, I did see the very first PS6 and Switch 3 rumors this week.
Oh God.
And I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm good.
Well, that's all our questions for this week, Sam. So we're gonna wrap up the show there. It's fun hanging out with you. I'm glad you're back. Hopefully your car issues go well tomorrow.
Fingers crossed.
Until then, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at JamPackSam.com. I got some cool stuff coming out this weekend. Got some really cool reviews and stuff coming out. Been doing a whole lot of gaming news stuff because, again, it's heating up. But yeah, man, it's always a good time. So JamPackSam.com. You guys know where to find me.
So easy now, JamPack.
So easy, man.
You can find me at the Muffin Mon everywhere. It's a 1-7I, 7A. Follow us at Save the Game Media over on Blue Sky to stay up to date with all of our latest content. Until next week, we will see you.